Well, good morning, everybody. This is Lance at Ledbetter Archery, Texas Twister Bowstrings. A lot of you may have already been following along on Butch Baker's video series. We've been doing these for, I don't know, 5 or 6 months, adding one here and there. We've pretty much covered all, just from the very beginning, how to build strings and whatnot. And now we're kind of entering into a question and answer type phase of these videos. Butch gets a lot of questions and people having a little bit of problem. So one of the questions that's been coming up is after you have your finished string, people have been getting a peep rotation. Well, there's several things that cause peep rotation, and this is just in my opinion. One is serving too tight. If you're serving too tight, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to be adding twist in front of where you're serving. Well, eventually you're going to run over the top of all that extra twist in there, and you end up trapping that twist underneath your serving. And over time, once you put the string on the bow and you start shooting, well, you kind of got a mix-match twist ratio. You may have less twist on your regular open string, and underneath your serving you have more twist. So when you're shooting over a period of time, that twist is going to try to even out, and so that twist is going to sometimes start working out from under the serving, which invariably is going to give you peep rotation. And another thing that what I've seen, and normally before I put any serving on my strings, I'm going to have my string come up probably about 1/16 of an inch short. And the reason that I do that, and this is what I have found in my experience, is as you put that serving down, you are compressing that string somewhat. And compressing that string, to me, converts to length. So if I start out with my string a little bit short, not much, but just a little bit, then normally when I get through getting all the serving laid down, my string comes out right on the money. And this is that's just using my building technique. Now, it may not be the same for everybody. That's just something you're going to have to work out, but it's something to throw out there. And what I've got right here is a way, now we're fixing to show you, is a way that when I started, I had the same issues with peep rotation. And a way that we came up with, and I may have seen this somewhere, but I don't even remember anymore, is what I do is, when I get ready to start my serving, I'll dog ear a piece of electrical tape or masking tape around the string, right where I'm starting my serving. And if I'm putting that serving on too tight, that tape is going to go to spinning around. It's going to be following that twist in that string. So if I start serving and that tape is spinning around 3 or 4 times, then I'm putting my serving down too tight. You want that tape, you're going to have a little bit, so you want that tape to probably go maybe a half around, and that's just going to be serving tension. Now if you back off your serving jig, then that tape should come back pretty close to where you started. And if it's not doing that, then you're serving too tight. And then on the other hand, when you finish up, you've served your string, and you put it on and you measure it, and your string is either too long or too short. This is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. And you're already served up, and you have to add a bunch of twist or let out twist to that string. Okay, you have more twist or less twist under your serving. So over time, you put that string on the bow, then the twist is either going to try to work under the servant or work back out from under the servant. So you need your strings to come out pretty darn close. You know, one twist or half a twist, or maybe even a twist and a half is not bad. But if you're having to add in four rounds in, 4 rounds out, then your serving, what's under your serving is an unequal amount to what's, you know, open. So this, you know, it works both ways. So you need your string lengths to come out pretty close when they're served, so you're not adding, but you also at the same time don't need to be serving overly tight. And now I'm going to show you what I was talking about with the tape. So I'm going to reposition the camera, and I'll kind of demonstrate serving a little bit too tight, and then I'll back it back off and show you what it should look like if you got it pretty close. So hang on, I'll move the camera. Alright, hopefully y'all can see that. Alright, I've already started the serving. I've got about 12 wraps right here. And here, of course, is it's about 1 inch behind and where I started serving. Now, if you'll note, I'm going to crank down on this serving jig pretty hard. And as you notice, you see how that tape is twisting around? See, I'll even go a little tighter. But you can see how it's just gaining. So all those twists are going in here. And they'll stay in here. And as you keep serving, you're trapping that twist under there. Alright, now we're going to let this back off because you can see how much we had in there. Now I'm going to do, this is about where I would set mine to serve. As you can see, we're barely turned 1/4 inch, and it's staying right there. And then if I come back, it comes back almost where I started. Now this is about the ideal amount of tension that you want on there. But if you're getting 3 or 4 wraps or a couple of wraps with that tape, then you've gotten too, you know, way too much. You're serving way too tight. And once again, I'll go real tight with it, and you'll see how that tape is just wrapping around. That's way too tight. So there, that's how I do it. And once you do it a number of times, you'll figure out how much tension to put on there just by hand. I don't really measure the tension on the jigs. A lot of people do. And a lot of times I've got this little tag in here. I just watch that and where it's spinning. I don't put the tape on there anymore. But I just watch this, and if it's going around and around, then I know it just does the same thing as the tape. But you'll get the feel of it after a while, and you'll know how much you need to put. But like I said, you know, if you're too tight, you're adding twist. You're taking twist away from here, and you're adding twist here. And as you serve over that, it's trapped. Once you start shooting, it's you know, your string is jolting back and forth. This is going to want to try to work out from under there. So that's probably a lot of the problems you're having. Anyway, if you have any more questions, get with Butch, and he can direct them to me. If we need to do some more videos on question and answers, just let us know, and we'll be glad to help. Thanks, guys.